Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade. I'm here to help you grow your online presence, multiply your streams of income and build profitable businesses. So if any of those things sound like a bit of you and you feel like doing any of those three things, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I release new content every single week. So today's video is going to be a quick one, she says. Let's see, because you know how much I love to chat. Today's video is going to be all about the 4 different types of content that you can create on Instagram, what's going to help you grow and get more followers. So let's just get straight to it. So the first type of content, what is going to help you grow on Instagram this year is content which solves a problem. Now, this type of content is quite literally how I've managed to build a following on any of my channels, like not just Instagram. All of my content is designed to help my audience solve some kind of problem. When you're providing content which is so valuable that it's actually helping your audience live a better life, reach their goals, be more healthy, have better relationships, dress better, whatever it is, if you're helping your audience solve a specific problem through your content, you are not only going to grow, but you are going to grow an audience of super loyal followers, right? And the main thing that you need to know in order to create content what's actually going to help you solve a problem is an understanding of who your audience are, but also what problems they actually have. Because let's face it, if you're creating content which is for everyone, so it's not targeted content, it's going to be almost impossible for you to come up with any form of post what's going to help that audience solve a problem, right? It's not going to be targeted enough. So the first thing you need to do is get to grips with who your audience are. Now, there are basic things you can do, like looking at your analytics to see like how old your audience are, where they're located and that kind of stuff. That will give you a bit of information on who they are. But in order for you to really get to grips with who your audience are, you need to speak to them. So do things like use the interactive features on your stories to ask your audience, what kind of content do they like to see from you? What problems do they have in regard to your niche? Like what's something that you can help them with today? What's going to help them live a better life, right? Those are the kind of things you want to be asking on your stories and even in the captions of your posts. If you start to open the dialogue between you and your followers, not only do you actually end up building a better relationship and a deeper engagement with your followers, but also you can get to grips with the problems that your followers actually have. I once actually uploaded a post on my Instagram channel, which I haven't done one like this in a while, but I'm going to do it again now that I'm talking about it. So I uploaded a post where I literally just said, let's chat. Tell me what you hate the most about Instagram. And I got so many comments under that post. Like I think I got like over 100 responses, right? And when I was reading through those responses, I was gaining so much insight into the problems that my audience were having, which meant that I could tailor all of my future content around what people were saying in the comment section of that post. I was literally getting first-party data from my audience on what they wanted to see from me and what I could help them with, right? So consider doing things like that, open up a dialogue with your audience and take the time to understand what problems they have so that you can create content which directly solve those problems for them. Okay, so the second type of content you can create on Instagram, what's going to really help you grow and get more followers, is relatable content. Now, I'm sure you would have seen content like this before. It's essentially anything which you read or see and think, oh my God, yeah, I can relate to that. Or like, yeah, this person gets me. The reason why this type of content is so effective is because it allows you to build an instant connection with your audience. Your audience, when they see something from you which is super relatable, immediately feel like they understand you and you understand them. It's like you skip a stage of taking the time out to get to know each other and you instantly get to the stage where you're like, no, I already know that this person gets me and I already know that we have the same sense of humor or we're in the same life stage or we have the same problems. A really great example of this is a influencer or content creator called Corporate Natalie, and you've probably heard of her because she blew up over lockdown, right? She creates really entertaining reels and content. It's all about being like a millennial in the workplace, right? And one of the reasons why her channel blew up so much during lockdown was because she was creating content which was incredibly relatable. People were looking at her content. It was all about, you know, like being on Zoom meetings and like taking a nap in between your work days and that kind of stuff. People were looking at that content and thinking like, oh my God, yeah, I do that. Or, oh my God, that girl gets me. And that instantly meant that people had this connection with her and people just warmed to her super, super quickly. So she managed to grow a really huge following in a really short space of time. Me being one of those followers, like I absolutely love her. I don't even work in an office anymore and I very rarely have Zoom calls, yet I still find all of her content so relatable. So another form of relatable content is authentic content, and this can manifest itself in a bunch of different ways. One example that I always like to use is Stephen Bartlett. I think I said his name wrong last time, but I'm pretty sure it's Stephen Bartlett now. His content is all based on him sharing his thoughts, his musings on life, entrepreneurship, the business world in the form of text, right? So you know those posts what look like tweets but aren't actually tweets? They might actually be tweets, but most of the time they're not actually tweets. But that's the kind of content that Stephen creates, right? And he shares it on his channel. It's super authentic, it's super relatable, and people love it. I also want to share an example from two of my friends, Liv and Lewis. Liv, I went to university with, and they're a travel couple. So I was stalking their Instagram the other day, and no shame, I noticed there was this reel that performed super well for them, right? They're also part of the Creators Club, which is another reason why I was stalking their Instagram. I wasn't just being a weirdo, I was just supporting the members, you know? So I was on their page, I saw this reel what performed really well for them, and I'll show you what it looked like over here. And the reason why I believe it performed so well is because it's so relatable. It's a reel where they show what their photos look like in reality versus on Instagram. So they're super good at editing, which means they can edit out like cars, people, planes, I don't know, from their photos, which makes their photos look so impactful when they're uploaded on Instagram, right? That reel got like almost 400,000 views. And I believe the reason why that reel got so many views is because people saw it and they thought, oh, these amazing content creators take photos what look similar to mine, right? I can relate to the content that they actually create. They're not so aspirational that I can't see myself in them. They're just so good at editing that their editing skills take their photos to like a whole nother level, right? So that's another form of like relatable, authentic content. Another form of content which is going to help you grow on Instagram this year is entertaining content. I mean, the head of Instagram, Adam Mazzari, I always wonder if I'm saying his name right. Adam, if you're watching, let me know. Imagine if Adam was actually watching. So Adam literally came out last year and said like, look, we're all about entertainment, guys. We are becoming a video-centric platform. We're about entertaining others. That's what we're trying to do. Adam is literally telling us what we need to do on Instagram, what type of content we need to create in order for our channel to grow. And that is entertaining content, right? The reason why they're focusing on this so much is because of the big players who are like coming up alongside them and huge competitors. You know, I'm obviously talking about TikTok. TikTok grew arguably due to its entertaining content. It now has other sub niches, which is helping it kind of sustain its growth. But the main type of content which really helped to grow that platform, arguably, is entertaining content. It's funny content. It's content where people want to watch and share with their friends, right? That's the type of content that's going to help you go viral. So if you have the type of personality where you can do these really funny like audio voiceovers or these trends or these skits, why not go for it? Because I'm telling you, now is the time to really show how much you can entertain people through your content on a platform like Instagram. Also, before we move on, make sure that you're using Reels to create this type of content, because Reels is where it's at when it comes to reaching a new audience and really helping you go viral, especially when it comes to content which is specifically designed to entertain your viewers. Okay, so last but certainly not least, the final type of content that you can create this year that's going to help you grow on Instagram is educational content, my favorite kind of content. It is similar to solving a problem. However, educational content is a bit more broad. It's quite literally content which teaches people something. So where the solving a problem type of content is more focused on telling someone step by step how to solve an issue they're having, educational content is more just genuinely about sharing your knowledge and your skill set. Where people go wrong on this is that people think educational content is only for people within an educational niche. So people within my niche, for example, but that's just not the case. So for example, if you're a travel blogger who captures these incredible shots, educational content for you could literally be you telling others some of the tips and tricks that you use in order to capture those type of shots, right? You can tell people what your camera gear setup is, what kind of lens you use, what editing software you use. Like there's so much educational content you can share to others, which is going to help them level up their photos. Another example of this, fashion. If you're in the fashion niche and you're thinking, well, how do I do educational content in the fashion niche? If you're really good at styling your clothes, which hopefully you are if you're in the fashion niche, something you can do is do a series where you're teaching people some styling tips, like Styling 101, where you're sharing your natural gift of styling your clothes with others to help them style their clothes better too. Or for example, if you're in like the family niche where you share these incredible shots of your kids and your children and your day outs, why not share some parenting tips? Like, you know, how to get your children to stop crying. I'm sure there's so many parents out there who would love to know if there's a secret to getting your kids to stop crying and having a tantrum, you know? Share that kind of stuff with your audience. One of the objections that I come across when I'm telling people to create educational content, right, is that people don't want to share their tips and tricks. They think that if they're in the fashion niche and they teach 100 people how to style their clothes better, those 100 people are going to become competitors and they're going to steal all of their followers. This is approaching the whole world of content creation from a scarcity mindset. And that's not the mindset you want to have when it comes to content creation or just in general, right? You've got to think of it from an abundance mindset. There are 1 billion active monthly users on Instagram. It is ridiculous to assume that you helping someone else, even if they're going to become, you know, a competitor of yours and become another blogger, that them becoming a blogger is going to mean that you're not able to grow when there are 1 billion monthly active users on the platform, right? There are more than enough accounts to go around. You will grow regardless of how many other competitors are out there and regardless of how many other people you upskill. Okay, so that's just something I want you to bear in mind in case you are thinking, well, I don't want to share all my knowledge because then what happens to me? Like, you'll still grow, hun. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, that is it for today's video. I really hope you found it useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe so that you see all of the content I release on a weekly basis. But also check out this video. It's all about my top tips for leveling up your Instagram content this year. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in my next video.